dead.
Rest in peace.
Everyone is in Atlanta except for Dallas. He didn't want to face the Braves fans that he insulted before this series.
Whoa, what?
Jay Hayes here. Joey's here. Jake is here. Dallas is, I can't see Dallas. Where are you? Are you home, Dallas?
I saw Dallas at the game.
Dallas was there?
Was that blooper?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Joe's been on one. Joe's been on one this trip.
Just a big old hairy sex machine. Is that what you mean? Is that what that's what you meant?
Let me tell you something. You thought that it was a shit show in 2018 for the playoff run. I don't think the world is ready for playoff Joe. Like this guy's a fucking madman. Like, what was it?
Well,
Game
maybe it's
one
good
was
maybe it's good that I'm not there because
you would make it worse.
Yeah,
Game one Saturday, we get to Truist Field Park, Truist Stadium in Atlanta, the Battery. And the blue moons are flowing, Dallas. The blue moons are flowing. And I was at the time, I feel a lot better now. I was feeling a little under the weather. So my guy, the beer guy, he's going up and down the stairs, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, big fan of the pod." He's like, "I got you all night." I was like, "All right, sick." So he'll crack open a blue moon, give it to me. I'll take a couple of sips because there's nothing more than I love than a blue moon. But then I got Joe down here double fisting blue moons. Oh, and then I'm like, you know what?
That's the problem is that all the blue moons, they look the same. I thought.
To be fair, they're all blue, Joe. So I'm with you.
They didn't label the blue moons. Like it wasn't like Jared's blue moon, Joe's blue moon, Jake's blue moon. So this boy is just shoveling blue moons, and it's a frustrating night for the Atlanta Braves on Saturday.
Man,
so there were more moments that you could say Braves fans should have been upset than celebratory. So we've got, the catcher's interference play. There's I think someone tried to steal second base, and there was like a review, or Trey Turner thought that he had the third out, but it wasn't the third out. There are a few plays where Braves fans were a little bit had their feathers ruffled, and young Joseph here was just airing it out. And I stand by this, Dallas. It's like how like sometimes there will be babies born, and then in the nursery they get the parents mixed up. It's like, oh, they were actually born into this family, but there was a mix up at the hospital. Joe's a Phillies fan. He's a Braves fan with like Phillies DNA. Like he did not fit.
He's a Philly fan in Braves clothing is what he is.
Yeah. He didn't fit what was like going on at the Battery.
I can 1,000% see it because Joey's like that dude, like your friend from school that like it's the first time you go over to their house, right? And you know him from school, and then you see him at their house, and you're
their parents let them do shit that the teacher doesn't, and you're just like, whoa, I didn't know you like that.
Like exactly, yeah. No, it's totally cool that we smoke. What? We're 11. We're 11.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's I just like holy shit! Like seeing a completely different side of this friend, of this human. I tell you, I saw the video.
Well,
I saw the video.
It gets worse. The next morning, or afternoon, really, because I think it was like before we went to dinner. We go down to the lobby, me, Jay, Hay, Jake, Joe, and I just look at Joe sitting there. I'm like, "What time did you wake up today?" I was like, "Which time?" I was like, "I don't know, like the final time." He's like, "I woke up at 10, but the first time," he's like, "I woke up at 3 a.m. and just threw up everywhere."
Yeah, like you never threw up before. Shit happens, dude. They gave me free blue moons all night. It's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
And it was free blue moons.
And you took it out.
Yeah,
it was a terrible night.
Yeah,
it was honestly a terrible weekend. It's not the weekend. Is it the weekend?
Well, today's Monday, so it's a good start to the week.
Yeah. Our trip in Atlanta was 85% shit. It was the Braves getting their ass beat for 85% of the time, and me just trying to pump everyone up around me like, guys, we could fucking do this. And
But hey, I mean, look, things turned around, Joe. Things turned around.
They fucking turned around real quick. You kidding me?
Yeah.
They just won the series. It took them 2 innings, and now we won. Now I don't even have to.
All I'm saying is you're lucky Dallas didn't make the trip because you would have been cheering on Austin Riley from a hospital bed. You were like, yeah. You would have been pumping fluids, cheering on Austin Riley, 2-run home run to win the baseball game.
That's incredible. That's incredible, Joe. What is going through your mind as no? You know what? Take me through the Michael Harris catch.
Dallas, well, did you see the video of him shaking Blooper's hand?
a wreck.
Just ripped his arm out of the socket.
It's almost like you're letting this guy out in public for the first time.
Not gonna lie, bro. When I saw Blooper in the section, I said, "That's it. We're coming back." Like that was all I needed. When I saw Blooper next to me and 2 feet away in person in the flesh, I said, "We're gonna fucking win. There's no way we don't fucking win." And then we didn't score a run.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's kind of been the MO for the 27 Yankees, Joe. What the hell? What the hell is going on? This team, Murderers Row, got murdered. What? But making a little noise. Seriously, take me through the Michael Harris moment. That had to have been electric.
Okay, we're at the live at the bat. We're at the live at the battery.
Shout out live at the battery. Great hospitality.
Yeah, shout out live.
Baseball's Dead podcast, and we were there live. Jared Carrabas, you can meet him in person. Come up to the second row. Jared's here, and Jake and Jay and Joey come meet. And we're hanging out with all the Braves boys. I riled them up because I told everyone early in the night, 7th inning. We're gonna 7th inning. We were getting shit on. We couldn't get a hit. 7th inning come around. But if you want to talk about the Michael Harris, was just like, imagine winning on a walk-off home run, and then after the walk-off home run, there's another walk-off home run. So it's like, you just won the fucking game, and you're like, "Wah!" And you're not even worried about it because the game's over. Then you turn around, oh, we just won the next game too. We just won the entire series. Because not only do you make the game-winning catch, obviously it's 2 outs, you make some, I don't know, he got Bryce, I don't know what Bryce Harper was doing. Probably drunk.
Well, Bryce Harper's saying, look, if this ball is going to hit the wall, if it's going to do anything, if Michael Harris doesn't catch this, I have to score.
Which odds are he wasn't going to.
Yeah, jokes and laughs aside, I don't think we can blame Bryce for that. I think he probably played that correctly.
Yeah, that was a good gamble. That was a wise gamble. It didn't work out. You look stupid in the end, but I mean, you look like a genius.
That's the thing. Is like
80% plays out where he doesn't catch the ball.
I don't even think he looks stupid because Jay, you just said it, and I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I want that dude rolling those dice. You know what I mean? I'm all for that because that's what has made him the player he is. And I don't ever want him, and I have never wanted him since the time he was rocking shin guards on the cover of fucking Sports Illustrated. I have never wanted this dude to not play the game the way he has always played it. And that right there is an example of that.
I mean, if that ball isn't caught and he doesn't score, if he's not in a position to score, that is a far more egregious error, in my opinion, than what played out in real life.
Absolutely. Because you're saying to yourself, like, he's got to be at least halfway. He's got to be at least 3/4 of the way to second base, bare minimum, right? And it's like, whoa. I mean, he's thinking, I got to score. Like, he's not catching that. He's not going to make that play. He has to do what he did in order for me to come up on the short end here. And he's still almost beat the throw. I mean, maybe by a step and a half or so. But to your point, Joey, I still remember a ball that just what are we? You watching?
Well, just for perspective, it is the bottom of the 6th of Game 2, DBacks Dodgers.
That is such, dude.
Ryan Brazier gave up a bomb to Gurriel. And we just had Kike Hernandez at the plate with the bases loaded. He got a knock up the middle to drive in 1. But Jake, I don't know if we could have
good job, buddy.
I don't know if we could have had a moment where Kike Hernandez bails out Ryan Brazier.
No.
In the play.
Dude, and here's what's tough about the play.
Brazier, but it was nice to see him give up that homer.
Yeah.
And here's what's tough about the play that we just saw right there is Saul Frank, the lefty. You watch the replay.
He let it go.
He let it go. He pulls out.
Oh.
And there's just
Something
nobody
you should try. How many fucking
right
kids
up
do you have now?
3 sex trophies proven. Just big leave it in guy.
Yeah, leave it in. Yeah.
But on the topic of Bryce Harper, either way, that game was fucking over. As soon as Michael Harris caught that shit, that was over. That was the best.
Oh yeah,
catch of all
that was.
I
that
forgot
was,
that there was a runner on. I was so jacked up for the catch. I was like, wait a second. Like, Bryce Harper is on first base. Where's he at?
Well, first of all,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
couldn't
the
have-
game was over and the Phillies won off the bat. Michael Castellanos.
Oh, yeah. You're thinking Homer.
Yeah, it's just the Braves year. That's basically the only thing that happened. It's just the Braves year.
Could be. Shout out to DraftKings. Things are heating up in the ballpark. Every team is playing to finish the season strong and make it to the playoffs. With DraftKings Sportsbook, you won't miss a movement or moment. It's Dallas. Don't fucking make fun of me, dude. It's I'm not. I don't. But the words are bigger on my laptop. I know how to say moment. It's just the words are a little bit
Let
smaller.
me read it.
I'll give you the blue moon one. You should do the blue moon read.
Yeah.
Blue Moon owes me some money, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna get a sponsorship deal out of this.
I know them.
With DraftKings Sportsbook, you won't miss a moment of the baseball action. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball. Plus, all customers can take a crack at a sweet payday with DraftKings same-game parlays. String together multiple bets from a single game for your shot at a major payout. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared, Jared. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball. Only on the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code Jared. The crown is yours, Dallas.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after insurance, opt-in, and 10-plus leg requirement for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms.
The crown could be yours.
I just
you,
before we turn the page on the Bryce Harper thing, I just I know that there's going to be people who are going to want to say, "Oh, come on, he can't get thrown out there. You can't get doubled off there." Blah blah blah.
Yes, you can. That's a worthy gamble.
I
didn't see anyone saying what a bonehead play.
Player
like,
specific.
Did he forget how many outs there were?
Somebody will come out with
Someone
it.
will say
Just
it.
give
Yeah,
them time.
yeah. I didn't see
The-
anyone
yeah.
with credibility saying it.
The hindsight thing is just in that moment he's trying to make the absolute best possible read, and yes, that's why we always talk about erring on the side of aggression. It wasn't like he didn't understand the game situation. He's trying to make a fucking play.
Mm-hmm.
His team has an opportunity if he scores to get back in that fight and maybe go up 2-0 against a club who is awfully dangerous. Awfully dangerous.
And me as a Phillies fan, if you want to point fingers, and this is coming as a Phillies fan, and this is, I think we need to get together. The guy
Philly
that
Joe.
we need to blame right now is Trey fucking Turner. Two
Wow.
errors.
Wow.
Who cost him the game. Like, as a
Kicking
Phillies
it.
fan, I'm waiting at the airport and booing his ass.
So I think the response is to cheer him.
No.
Yeah,
No,
that's a
boo
good
him.
point,
Reverse
yeah.
that. They should have never cheered him in the first place.
That's how
but
they
if you're
got
the-
here, Joe. That's
if
how
you're
they
the
got here.
Phillies
They
fan,
wrapped their
a
arms
real
around the
Phillies
guy,
fan-
and he turned into a
No,
fucking
that's
hero.
some fake shit, dude. If you're a real Phillies fan, you boo him and take him out for the rest of the
You
series.
boo him.
Bench him.
Boo.
I'm not obviously primarily a vibes guy on this podcast, but having been here in Atlanta, it is jarring how quickly this whole scene turned around when you combine game 1 and game 2, because it was 14 innings of no runs between the two games. It was 15 innings of really just being close to the end, right? Because they scored 1 in the 6th, but it was still a 4-1 game. And it was just remarkable how quickly it turned. And the conversation following game 1 was so goddamn toxic as it related to the batting order and
We're gonna change the playoff format because of the Braves lost
honestly,
one game.
like that, I was scrolling through Twitter all day, and it was just like such an obnoxious conversation on like, well, was there too much time off? And it's like, you know, a few extra days taking down the greatest offense in baseball history is just such a preposterous thing. But like, I was on the side that I thought Brian Snitker changing the lineup in Game 1 was a very weird and bizarre decision to make, coming off a regular season where you reset offensive records and where like the strength of the Braves offense to me is its depth, right? It's the fact that it is often relentless, and it's not necessarily that Acuna, Olsen, and Riley are the 3 greatest hitters to ever be featured in a single lineup. It's that they have 7-8 guys that make this such a relentless thing, and that's what made the changing of the lineup such a bizarre decision to me. And like, I felt like there was a focus on that, not only from me, but from fans and from like the Braves world in general, media. And then like the vibe inside the bar for the first part of that game was absolutely putrid.
Dead.
And it was depressing. Not like I was depressed, but like these fans were just like waiting for something to happen.
The guy hates the Braves.
But like, and it was just so quickly it turned, and it was just such a beauty of baseball situation that we got to witness firsthand. That was very cool.
Yeah, the vibes were awful last night. Like, I was dreading coming on the podcast knowing that we were going to do it after Game 2, after what we experienced firsthand in Game 1. I mean, the only person making noise was Joe. And the entire fucking stadium. No, like, and
He
I
was
get
that
it.
fan.
Yeah, like, I get it. Like, they didn't score any runs. So, like, what are you going to cheer about? But there were moments where it was like 2 outs, 2 strikes. Like, get on your feet,
get
make
up,
some fucking
let's
noise.
go.
Like, make it uncomfortable, at least for the Phillies. They didn't do that, like, at all. Like, I was very underwhelmed and disappointed. And then tonight happens. But before you could even get to the comeback, you're sitting there watching Zach Wheeler no-hit the fucking best lineup in baseball history through what, 5? When did he give up a hit? The 6th, 7th? Like, whenever the fuck it was. Like, he at least took it a respectable amount. Like, I know that, like, people, like, if you have, like, a no-hitter after 4, people start saying, oh, a no-hitter going. But, like, he took it to a respectable inning where it's like, all right, like, this could be a thing. I don't know what the pitch count was at the time, but I don't think that he had, like, a decent enough pitch count to go the distance for a no-hitter in a playoff game. But the vibes were down tremendous. Like, Braves fans were just looking at each other. Like, I was talking to them at the bar, and like, we don't know what happened. Like, we don't have an explanation for this. Like, it went from scoring 0 runs to like, we can't even get a fucking hit in Game 2.
Couldn't get a hit. And now look at us.
And now look
We
at
just
us.
won the
Now look,
series. Now if you're the
series.
Phillies, you're looking at yourself. You just blew the shit. You had it in your palms, dude. The Phillies had it in their palms.
Well,
And
all
they're-
right. So I'll give you that. But when I tell you, Dallas, like, first fucking pitch of the game, Kyle Schwarber just hitting a piss rocket off Spencer Strider. Like, the first pitch of the game, it's a rope. Like, it almost goes through the wall for a double. I don't think they ever recovered. Like, for Game 1, I don't think that the fans recovered. They were still stunned. They got rocked in the jaw, and they were just like, what? Like, what the fuck happened?
It's a fucking flash bomb. Just bang.
Yeah.
And
Concussion
your ears are
grenade
ringing.
goes off, and you're like, what the hell?
Yep.
It's not
Can't
only a
see
flash
anything.
bomb, it's a flash back. Because as a Braves fan, I'll be honest, I don't know what our last pod was 3 days ago or some shit. I was being like, oh, go Braves. I had all the confidence in the world. I was fucking faking it, dude. I was faking
Last
it.
year?
This year.
This year.
Because the Phillies bitch slapped us last season.
Well, I mean, the series is not over. But I will
Well,
say,
not anymore. Now the
I
series
don't-
now is over, but
I wish if we were home and I had the soundboard, I would be calling some Phillies fans right now. I'd be like, where are we at? Because I feel like they have to be feeling what Braves fans felt last night.
The first 15 innings.
Jay Hay was looking it up, and he was like, the Braves haven't been shut out since mid-May. And then he like looked even further. He's like, they haven't been shut out at home all year. This is the first time they've been shut out at home all year. And then this morning, he's like, by the way, they haven't been shut out at home since 2021.
Oh my!
I was like, holy fuck. Like we
Fine
just
time.
came and saw a lightning strike in person, and
Some are saying you brought the lightning.
Joe
that's
brought
an
the
issue.
lightning for sure.
I brought us back. I mean,
So
I had something to do with it.
like with that context, that is a very shocking thing as a Braves fan to be like, man, we haven't been shut out at home in 2 years. And then you're watching Zach Wheeler go out there, slice and dice, no hit your ass through 5 or whatever it was. And thinking to yourself that like where it's hard to have like an all-time choke in the division series, but like that's gonna be up there. If the Braves had the best lineup of all time, get shut out in game 1 for the first time at home in 2 years, and then get no hit in game 2.
Oh God.
And then they got to go to Philly. But
Oh.
all that to say, I do think that Phillies fans must be thinking like, I feel good about going home. Like it's good to be going back to Philly. Like it would suck if that happened and then you got to go to Atlanta.
Look, ultimately,
you're going to Philly, but that is a stunning loss for Philly.
But ultimately you want to go home 1-1. You want to go home 1-1, and
Not
you're
like
going
that.
home.
Not like
Not
No,
like that.
But that's what this is where the jobs of the veterans and the jobs of leadership comes in, is because there might be some some guys who are walking around looking for limbs, right? And you got it's just that's not the case. That's not the case. It's 1-1. I know the way that ended was energetic. I know there was a lot of emotion behind that. It's a tough loss. The 1-run losses are often very tough. And like I've always talked about clubhouses and how those feel after a 1-run victory as opposed to a 1-run loss and the heartbreak that is accompanied with that. And so that's why it's really important to move on from this and say, look, it took a great play that happened for us to not end up where we want to. That's fine. We're still 1-1. We're still essentially in a spot to go home and win the series.
But Dal, it's not about the
fans.
Phillies. It's not about what do you think the Braves are feeling right now? The season was over 2 hours ago.
Sure.
And I was there. I saw
That's
the season.
facts.
I saw the season end, and I was thinking to myself, what do I got to do? Jump off the second story right now? Like the season was over. Like how does the best offense in the history of baseball get shut out 2 games in a row and choke in the playoffs for the second year in a row, the 18th time in 20 years? Why does this keep happening? They had cameras in the dugout. Everyone in the Braves looked like they just saw their mom die.
I know it's hard to separate ourselves from the feelings that we just saw, but like, what's the phrase? Momentum is as good as the next game's starting pitcher. The Phillies are going to enter the next game with the starting pitcher advantage because it's Aaron Nola against TBD.
Shit's fake.
And like, I know it feels like how can they possibly recover from this sequence of the final 2 innings of this game or 3 innings of this game? But
Nola goes out and does what Wheeler did or something
yeah,
similar
basically.
to that.
Future Red Sox Aaron Nola.
I mean, there are not many examples of having a start as good as what Zach Wheeler delivered and not getting the win or having a no decision. Like I looked it up. This is the 21st start in postseason history to feature 2 earned runs or fewer and 10 or more strikeouts and not get.
At this point in the season, we got to stop looking shit up. It's over.
Well, that's just because you don't have a computer in front of you.
I have a computer. I shut it in the 7th inning of the game, and I said, I'm taking out the stats, and I'm going off the vibes, and that's what matters right now.
And the fact that we've made it this far without mentioning Travis d'Arnaud
Yeah.
is that was
Dude,
the turning
every
point.
ti-
That
every
home run
time-
saved the Braves season.
Every time I turn a fucking playoff game on, I feel like Travis d'Arnaud is hitting an important home run.
Yeah.
I don't know why it feels that way.
I mean, shout out to Sean Murphy for being ass cheeks for the second half, allowing Travis d'Arnaud to
but
get into the
Travis
lineup.
was also ass cheeks, but Travis d'Arnaud kills Zach Wheeler. That's why he was in the lineup. And what did he do? He killed Zach Wheeler.
Hammers
He
him.
killed him.
What was that, pitch 93 of his outing that he took him deep on?
But that's
I feel bad for Zach Wheeler because, like, if you were watching the post game, I mean, Pablo Lopez was getting an absolute tongue bath from everyone, and he deserved it. But, like, where would you say was Zach Wheeler's?
It's basically the same start.
Yeah, was Zach Wheeler's performance on par with what Pablo Lopez did? And I'm not saying Pablo Lopez didn't deserve his praise. He does, and it was an amazing start against Houston. But Zach Wheeler was carrying a no-hitter deep into a start against the best lineup of all fucking time in the playoffs. And he lost. Well, he didn't get the L, but his team lost.
Darno's got 5 homers over his last 11 postseason games.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, so point stands. Like the dude, every time I fucking turn the TV on, I'm watching Darno hit a huge homer. Like, my God, again. So shout out Trav.
Isn't that just the name of the game for the Braves? It's like no matter how bad they're doing, how bad their offense is, they'll have a guy who you're not fucking thinking of, Travis d'Arnaud, hit a bomb.
It's fucking crazy that Kike Hernandez is playing shortstop for a playoff team right now. Like, he was so fucking bad this year at shortstop for the Red Sox. I'm surprised they got a human being in a trade for him to the point he in the same calendar year. He is playing shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers in a fucking playoff game.
Yeah, well, they might be the worst team in the playoffs right now. So
the Dodgers,
let's be honest.
Yeah. Former Red Sox Joe Kelly on the mound to face former Red Sox Tommy Pham, with Kike playing shortstop to replace Ryan Brazier. The Red Sox are the playoffs. Like, whether you want to admit that or not, Dallas.
Yeah, shut up.
It's true.
We can talk about the Oakland A's too. Sure. I mean, with Joe. I mean, you could say thank you for like almost a third of your lineup, really.
Yeah, Platinum Glove, Matt Olson at first
Platinum
base.
Glover, Matt
Pache
Olson.
was in the game too today.
Yeah,
Pache.
Yeah. Well, our Oakland A's need to step it up a little bit. I will say that. I do.
Our Oakland A's.
Our Oakland A's haven't done the best so far. It's been 2 games. They'll show up.
I mean, Matty O, he almost took what's his fucking dickhead Matt Strom deep last on Saturday.
This is why there's no this is why there's a lot of shock and awe in Bravo country right now, is because you don't have the guy who's led the free world in homers this year and setting franchise records for long balls. He hasn't popped off quite yet. So just wait till that starts happening, right?
The Braves are the Red Sox in the South. The Braves are the Red Sox in the South because the Red Sox have all of New England, and the Braves have like 5 different states down here. They're all Braves fans.
Braves play tomorrow, right? They play tomorrow. Who's starting?
No, travel day.
Off day. That's right. I feel
Elder.
like because Bryce Elder, Matty O, like that dude gets going. Like he could fuck around and hit 2 bombs next game. Like he starts hitting the home. They come in bunches. He could end up with 3 over the next 3 games.
You could say that about Acuna. You could say that about Ozuna. You could say that about
Joe.
Almost anybody. Hey, I'll say it on the pod. Give him the keys.
Yeah.
Give Marcell Ozuna the keys, baby.
You did say it when you were blackout drunk in the game, too.
You were screaming it. You were like, give him the keys.
Yeah. There's just like all like
Jesus,
families
Joe.
around us. Marcell Ozuna's at the plate. Big spot for the Braves. And Joe, with not a thought behind those soulless eyes, screaming out at home plate, give him the keys. Let him drive. Let him drive.
Scored 0 runs.
0 runs.
But it wasn't my fault. I tried my best.
That's what you get for supporting a bad person. Any other Braves, Phillies thoughts? I know that, we could do a whole podcast just on this series, but we do have 3
Well, to
other
wrap it up,
series.
the one guy we didn't say one thing about was the guy who won the game, which was Austin Riley with that 2-run bomb. And not only that, I don't know if you guys had your spectacles on and saw the guy who backed up the bad throw from Michael Harris, made a great catch, backed it up and got Bryce Harper at first. Austin Riley, he made that last out.
Well, I mean, and seriously, like, dude, we don't need to dive into this a bunch, but there's a reason that you constantly have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing with the baseball at all times. Pre-pitch, the ball gets hit here, this is where I'm going. If this happens, this is what I'm doing. Austin Riley has thought about backing up, has thought about being somewhere each and every pitch that he's played defense behind. And when something like that unfolds, a la Derek Jeter, you just expect a heady ball player to be in a position to make a play. And he just happened to be in a position to make a play. It's not like they planned it. He just happened to be following the play, watching it unfold, ended up in the right spot at the right time, and did exactly what you needed him to do with it. That's how you get to this
Guess
position.
what, Dal? Guess what? My cat died today.
Yeah.
My cat died. And guess what his name was? Riley.
Riley, yeah, rest in peace,
So
Riley.
my cat died today. fucking rest in peace. I might cry, but my cat died. Yeah. And you know what? He was old, 17 years old.
17.
My mom, I text my mom after the game, go Braves, Mom, we did it. She goes, yeah, Riley died.
No shit.
I'm like, what?
Oh, this is a real thing.
This is real. I walk into, we're recording this in Jake's hotel room. I walk into the hotel room. I sit down on the couch next to Joe. I look over at his phone and like, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, but I can see an M and I see that it's 3 letters. I was like, fucking pussy, what are you doing texting your mom? And he goes,
oh no. Oh
like,
no.
yeah, bro, my cat just died. If you must know.
I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh at this.
It's really not funny, man. It's not funny, but it's beautiful. You know what?
He or she died for the Braves. Yeah.
You know, it's not funny. It's sad.
Like
but
Riley's last moments in this world was watching Austin Riley hit a fucking game-winning home run for the Braves. Dude.
He was like, look, I could. As soon as it cleared, Joe, you got to know that cat gave his fucking soul for that homer. Literally nobody gave more to that game tonight than Riley. Like,
well, you guys are going to hell, and I'm going to the World Series, motherfucker. So, hey, thank you, Riley. I love Riley. I love you, Riley, and I love Austin Riley.
I love Riley too, man.
What
sorry.
a legendary puss.
I got with tears in my eyes.
Legendary puss. That's a great call, Jay. Legendary puss. Oh man,
he was a good cat. You know what?
He was a great cat.
Someday your pets will die too, guys, and I'll be here for you.
I told you I didn't want to laugh at this.
I hope they get as good a send off as that.
They won't because they weren't as special. They weren't as good as my fucking cat. Your dogs and the cats and birds or whatever, they're just gonna die one day. No one's gonna know about it. My cat is going viral on the podcast, and his name hit a home run, and it's gonna win the World Series for us.
Was he named after Austin Riley?
No, he was named way before Austin Riley was.
Austin Riley must have been like 5.
Yeah.
Old
when Riley was born.
Yeah, to be honest, if it was named after Austin Riley and it's already dead, we should do an investigation.
Yeah. And the internet does not fuck with cats. Do not fuck with cats.
Yeah,
we have learned
like
that.
collusion to me.
Man.
Oh.
Well, what a send off. Hey, Joe, like a broken bat. Riley died a hero. All right.
Died a hero. Yeah. With cause.
He fucking squared that one up.
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, them Rangers, Dallas. Tell you right now, Riley would have loved them Rangers. Riley would have loved to see them Rangers clinch in the division series. Oh, man.
Oh, they are riled up in the boot barn, I can tell you that.
They're getting riled up in Texas. That series is coming back to Arlington 2-0 Rangers. I tell you right now, you don't want to be them Baltimore Orioles, boy. You don't want to be them O's. They're not gonna. I mean, hey. I know. A lot of people were talking about this series, thinking that the Orioles are just gonna roll through. And who was I the only one that picked the Rangers, Jake?
No, me.
You did too.
I as well.
You're a bandwagon jumper. You didn't believe in us.
I believe it was my first pick, actually.
You didn't believe in us in the wild card.
No, well, hey, look, you don't want to play this game. You are in Atlanta, the team you absolutely gave up on and discarded last year.
I picked them.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
What?
No.
That's not true.
Jared was playing beer pong in the 7th, dude. He was checked the fuck out. Doing escape rooms. Didn't even make the game on time.
Man, you know what? Because there was a meet and greet, right?
Wow.
There was a meet and greet.
It was
a meet and greet. I don't want to be the guy that's like, all right, yeah, everyone came out to see us. Like, let me just fucking sit in this chair in the corner by myself and watch the fucking game. Everyone leave me alone. So this gentleman came over and he was like, hey, he's like, my friend is a very big fan. You know, we came all the way here just to see you guys. We're playing beer pong. would you play a game with us? And I was like, you know what? What would Dallas do? What would Dallas do in this position?
Lace them up.
Dallas would be like, you know what? For the people, I'm going to play a game of beer pong with these three people. And we lost, but we won. Because we did it for the people.
I like to hear that. Good showing.
So,
was it
and I
close?
didn't miss a second of the action. Like I didn't miss the Darno homer. I didn't miss the Riley homer. Like nothing happened while I was playing that game. So it was almost like the world stood still while I did a good deed.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah,
it's good to hear.
I did it for Riley.
This Texas series, is this not how? I mean, I don't want to say is this not how we thought it was going to go? What? I feel like everybody expected things that maybe the O's. Look. You wanted. What did you want from Grayson Rodriguez? Were you looking for 7 shut?
More than that.
Well, okay, but I mean, a happy medium between 7 shut, 12 punchies, and what he got. I mean,
no, I think I'll answer this question. I think the entire proposition of the Orioles doing serious damage in the postseason was predicated on the idea that Grayson Rodriguez was ready for this.
Yeah.
Well, that him and Bradish.
I'm not saying that he's not emotionally ready. I don't know the man at all. But 1 2/3 and 5 earned with 4 walks is just not going to put you in a position to win a baseball game. And the offense did everything it possibly could have to get back into it after that hole was dug. But that, like, we talked about it. It was Bradish and it was Grayson Rodriguez. And Bradish was fine. The offense just didn't show up. And Rodriguez...
Aaron Hicks did.
And Rodriguez was basically terrible and almost essentially lost them the game before it started in not quite Kershaw fashion, but not fundamentally different than that. And that
similar.
To me was very disappointing given how Rodriguez finished the regular season. And I picked the Orioles, so I'll own that. But this to me was always going to be a very close series. And the Rangers, I mean, the Rangers offense has showed up certainly in a way that the Orioles didn't. I don't know, man.
Look,
like
man,
it's just
hot at the right time, dude. Like straight up hot at the right time.
They've been hot all year, though.
What's that? The
Rangers
lineup. Well, there was a moment here down the stretch where things were
big
not
time.
Things were not great.
We took a breather.
Things were not great. But I mean, yeah, for sure. You've got guys that are absolutely crushing the baseball, capable of crushing the baseball all season long. That's what this team. That's why they are. I mean, that's why they're in the position they're in with the division. That's why they were able to hold their water for as long as they were. I think for Grayson Rodriguez, we saw it. We saw it after his debut. I think like the first few games out, a little erratic, right? You saw big stuff, but then there was a time where things just were not great, and the misses were egregious. Spraying the ball, chased out of the zone at times. Command was not great, and he had to go down and figure some things out. And so it's not to say that he's not emotionally ready.
right.
I think it's fair to say, Jay, that there's a combination of getting to that stage, getting to that level, and just not being quite sure how things are going to play out first time around. Because the stuff on paper tells you this guy's this is everything you would want in a starting pitcher in this spot, right?
I'm not suggesting that I know him well enough to say mentally anything or emotionally anything. So let me clarify there. But like, he needed to be like, and maybe it's too early and maybe it's not fair, but like the Orioles to do damage in this postseason needed him and Bradish to be frontline starting pitchers because of the questions that come after them, because Felix Bautista is no longer in the bullpen, because the offense has been very productive during the regular season, but is also reliant on people that we haven't seen do it. And I don't like saying that because you haven't done it, you aren't expected to do it. But like, that's a lot to ask of Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman as your point people for the offense, right? And that's what they are. Like, Aaron Hicks came through with a big hit. Great. That's how you win games, ideally. But in order to sustain anything, it needs to be Adley and Gunnar performing up to the first and second best people on the team. And so far, other than that monstrous, very majestic looking home run, from Gunnar, we haven't really seen that overall.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely shot.
Yeah, that was awesome to watch.
You got that one, Hampel. Attaboy, Hampel got another one. He
owns
Camden. He owns Camden.
Another one for the good guys.
Let's go, Zach.
Yo, to flip over to the Rangers, though, like, I know the last time we talked about Cory Seager was kind of like, oh, isn't it stupid that people are advocating him for the MVP over Ohtani? And yes, that is stupid. But like, what a funny first 2 games for that guy too, where he's 11 plate appearances and he's reached base 8 times. He has a 727 on base percentage, but no extra base hits. He's got
5
one
walks.
fucking hit. 7
5
walks.
Jay.
5 walks in game 2.
In one game.
7
5
games.
walks in a game.
Yeah, 7 walks across the 2 games. Like, that's just, to
First
me,
time it's ever been
I think
done
I
in
told Jared
postseason
this
history,
at dinner.
right?
Yeah, yes. I think I told Jared this at dinner last night, or everybody, but to me, 5 walks in a game is almost more impressive in a way than 5 hits, because you are just not expanding the zone. You're just like, if you're not going to fucking throw me a strike, I'm not going to swing.
And in the postseason, where like for me, like if I was offensive minded, I'm hunting, I'm attacking. Like I was like, I'm not saying that I was a professional hitter. I was never a professional hitter. At the amateur level, at the highest amateur level, I was looking to put the baseball in play, hunting, putting the ball in play. And I know that if I were in that situation, shit would probably be the same. Like, the bigger the situation, I'm trying to put the ball in play. I'm not trying to fucking punch out. So I have so much respect for a dude in that spot that's like, you know what? Nope. Like 5 times. 5 times, nothing. He was like, I'm good here.
Also, not to be a negative Nancy since we're celebrating my Texas Rangers here, but I didn't love. I mean, I think that it started off as a blowout, so you weren't going to remember or maybe even notice the fact that Jordan Montgomery was not actually good in that game. That's 1, and then 2, the fact that it tightened up to become a safe situation by the end of it, like 11-8. It's just a little reminder that the Rangers bullpen is not all that great, and if guys like Montgomery, Evaldi, like, if you're not going to be like, the margin for error is pretty small for those guys.
They skated through that game 1. That when Aroldis Chapman came in, he was wild, and he got bailed out on that double play ball. He got bailed out on that.
He was erratic. He was wild, Aroldis Chapman, but he didn't blow it. Bend don't break. But it was I don't know. I just want to throw that.
Well, how about the Orioles? When was the last time the Orioles got swept? It's been, they have like
not all year.
It's been over since last year. 512
Well, remember
days.
this could very well be the first time the Baltimore Orioles are swept in a series during the Adley Rutschman era.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it could come.
What's going
in the
on
postseason.
here, Dallas? Why like Braves' best offense of all time, they get shut out and almost no hit. We know how it ended. They won the game. I get it. But
You're watching pitching. You're watching pitching, Jared. This is what it always boils down to.
You're not.
Yes.
It was 11-8.
Well, I mean, not in that game. Not in that game.
Well, that's half the games.
But to be honest, on the flip side of the positive pitching, this is the pitching aspect. If you don't have depth, if you don't have guys that you can go to get leverage outs, this is what things look like. This is how things unfold. And that's what I was going to say about the Texas Rangers moving forward. I said it when I was like, well, shit, looks like I can just go to this little B meeting that I was going to go to and go check out. This game is over. And then someone was like, Dallas, don't sleep. Remember that Rangers bullpen is very, very, very below average. And here you go.
I mean, I just don't think anything about the Rangers-Orioles series has been super unexpected. Like, we had lots of questions about the starting pitching, and right now, I believe Bradish's 4 2/3 is the longest that any of the 4 starting pitchers have gone in that. Like, it's been a battle of bullpens, and like, a lot of that is ugly. Bradford did a really nice job for the Rangers, eating up a lot of important innings in the middle of that game, in Game 2 after Montgomery came out, and I think he deserves credit for that. But like, the Rangers offense was better than the Orioles during the regular season, and not to like totally simplify things, but they've been better in this series so far too. And it may just be a case that their bullpen showed up at the right time. Because, like, really, the starting pitching has not really shown up for either team.
Dallas
No.
has to go. Do you have any parting thoughts, Dallas?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the the Astros series.
Yeah.
As it comes back. Javier starting for the Astros. If he can do what he did last year between the DS, the CS, and the World Series, which was deliver 12 2/3 of 1-run baseball, 16 punch-outs, 0.71 ERA over those 3 starts. If he can do that this time around here again, the Astros very well could have their chance. Have their chance against a daunting, a young, hungry, and aggressive Minnesota Twins team.
I get it. I just don't see any reason to think that that version of Christian Javier is showing up.
That's your side.
I gotta go. But check his last 4 or 5 starts. Check how he finished the season, Jay. I know overall numbers not ideal, but just back to you want to be seeing the ball as well as you can at the plate. You want to be throwing the ball and feeling it as well as you can out of the hand at the right time. This is as good as it's probably been.
No,
Dallas, before you leave,
What do you got?
you were the only person that picked the Astros. Do you regret it?
No, I do not.
Pussy.
I do not regret it. I do not regret it. We'll reconvene very shortly.
Yeah. All right.
See if you guys.
What movie are you going to see?
Saw X. That's right. You fucking laugh. Don't laugh.
Kids are like 4 years old.
They're not. I mean,
Buddy, I'm not taking my kids. They're in bed.
It's 8:46.
Jesus,
Pacific
Joey.
time.
I thought you were a family
Be
guy. I guess I
accountable
was
and
wrong.
responsible one time. Yeah, 9 o'clock. You guys want to go see basically a triple rated R movie? No,
Big
All right.
family guy.
I saw it.
Did you? You like it?
It was good.
All right.
Just know because I didn't know this. Do you know where it fits in the Saw timeline?
I do.
Well, it's after 9, so I'm guessing 10.
No.
Oh.
This is very important to enjoy the movie because I didn't know this until after.
Okay.
I wish I knew.
What,
it
like
before.
4 in between?
No. Nope. It is a sequel to the original and a prequel to 2.
Oh.
That makes sense. That's not
Okay.
confusing.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
Sure, that will do
All right.
good in the box office.
Well, hey, they're getting my money. All right, I got to go.
All right, bye.
This preview's already started. All right, later.
That's Dallas Braden, voice of the Oakland A's. Does some other stuff, I guess. Any other thoughts on the Orioles here? Do we think it's over for Baltimore?
I'm not super optimistic.
Yeah,
You think they're toast?
I feel like I can't, not to, yeah. The Orioles pick was kind of like let's come on, go O's. Doesn't surprise me that they're, young team getting in the playoffs for the first time.
I think I'm gonna feel stupid predicting that the Rangers even lose a game.
I mean, the problem for the Orioles is that they've already thrown their 2 best pitchers. So that's just a tough mix to come back and win 3 straight.
Or maybe the bullpen was the option the whole way.
We got Dean, Kramer, Evaldi in Game 3.
It's over, dude.
I mean, on
a wrap.
paper, that's another one that favors the Rangers.
We're gonna cream him.
I burnt the papers, man. I'm done looking at numbers, giving a shit about anything like that. Because going back to the Braves, switch the lineup. Analytics said switch the lineup.
I don't think that was
fucking
analytics. I think that was
Analytics was one.
I think that was a couple of people where somebody should have stepped in and said, "What the hell are we doing? Why are we changing the lineup?"
Someone who knows the analytics could say that.
Just somebody who had their brain turned on.
Well, obviously they saw some numbers that said, "Hey, maybe we hit the guys in a different order than we did all season." Or when they said, "Let's have Minter start the 9th," even though all season the Braves never did that all season. Going in the 9th inning, you had the lefty-lefty matchup. Oh, leave Minter in to get 4 outs. They would never do that. They just bring Ross Yellen. So when I saw them bringing Minter in for the 9th, I was a little nervous. What'd he do? Walk the guy.
He did.
Obviously, team of destiny, got out of it. Doesn't matter. At this point, I think Snicker and the Braves learned their lesson. Burn the papers.
Manage from in here.
From the heart.
From the heart.
That's what I've been doing all weekend, man.
You really have been. There's no one that's gonna sit here and tell you otherwise. Speaking of which, I know you weren't involved in this, but me, Jake, Jay, escape room champs.
Oh,
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, guys. It's sad I missed that, man. Really.
I know, like you're mad that you didn't go,
I know,
but
I'm
like
really
we did
mad.
ask you to go. Like we didn't like not invite you. You chose not to go.
Well, some
You
adults,
saw how
some
much
people
fun
have-
we had,
some
and then
people have real
after you
jobs.
saw how much fun we had, you were like, "Oh, that looks fucking stupid." Escape room.
I mean, someone in the podcast
No,
has a real job.
I think that you regret not coming. Just say that.
No, why would you guys showed up in like the third inning because you guys were solving
No,
fucking riddles,
no,
solving
no,
riddles.
no,
Oh
no,
yeah,
no,
you guys.
no,
all the fans will testify that
It was
that's
bottom of the
just-
first.
That's garbage.
Yeah, we showed up in the bottom of the first.
We missed like the Trey Turner run or whatever.
Yeah, that was it. We missed the Phils going up 1-0.
And quite honestly, if we're solving an escape room right down the street from Truist Park,
Yeah.
I think you have to draw a direct correlation between our success and the Braves.
We set the vibes.
surging forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Jake, how would you
I'd rather shoot myself in the fucking face than do an escape room. Honestly, if I'm just being honest,
Why
just
didn't
doesn't
you-
seem.
what's so wrong about it? Like what
There's
do you,
nothing wrong with it, but
It
I
was a
had
lot of fun.
responsibilities. You know, I'm running a YouTube channel over here.
Okay.
Sometimes
I genuinely think that deep down you're like, man, that looked like a lot of fucking fun. I wish I was there. Like, why did I do this TikTok about fucking like JT Real Muto's like middle school teacher? Like I could have been doing the
Yeah,
escape
that-
room with the boys.
yeah, that makes you feel better. Yeah, I wish I was there with the boys, and I mean, I cherish every moment I have with you guys. I love you guys. I really do. I think we had a great weekend.
Didn't
No,
you
no,
just
no.
say that 85% of the weekend sucked like an hour ago?
Yeah, for me personally, but
Yeah.
like for the weekend sucked ass mostly. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Going to the Braves. I mean, the Braves. Like, yeah, we lost. How many innings did we play? In 18, we lost 16 innings, and it sucked. If we did
Yeah,
this,
but you came out 50-50. That's all that matters. That's baseball.
I'm not
brother.
going home tomorrow after that. What I just witnessed, be like, fuck, man, I didn't do the escape room, man. Damn.
Yeah, but we got
Yeah, but
those
you-
cool T-shirts.
Yeah, you
too.
will when we all pose with the T-shirts on
Yeah.
the next trip.
Yeah, you're gonna look stupid when you're wearing a shirt that isn't the one that we're wearing.
The problem is that the
You
next
see a t-shirt I'm wearing, motherfuckers? I don't think you guys got one of these
living in the
t-shirts.
past.
This is the championship tee, motherfucker.
that says 2021.
2021.
That's
Yeah.
cool. We're wearing 2023 escape room championship.
That's
shirts.
right. That's right.
And the real problem is that when we go on our next road trip, we're going to find the escape room there
And then do it again.
And we're going to wear our T-shirts to that escape room.
Yeah. Just so that they know. You'd be like, hey,
Oh shit! You guys escaped the heist?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
And I'll be rooting for you. I
they
really
probably
will.
won't even give us clues at the next one. They'll be
Yeah.
like, holy shit, you guys are like.
I don't know if I
experts."
want you at the next one.
It's all right. You don't. Yeah,
You and Dallas can. You and Dallas can do one together in the the three.
Yeah, they got ones for kids. Stupid idiot kids.
I would absolutely love to put you and Dallas doing an escape room on social.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
would be,
you know what?
That should be your next fucking YouTube video.
First
is
of all,
and
when you
Dallas-
guys say escape room, it doesn't compute in my brain. Like I did. an
Yeah, we
escape
know.
room.
That's
to
why
me,
you're
that
not on the
doesn't
team.
even like not a thing. It's like I don't know what that is. Like a maze.
No,
You know? It's like
no.
I did an escape room. Like cool. You could have just did
get
ayahuasca
it,
in the
dude.
desert. I wouldn't fucking know the difference.
Yeah, that's why
But
you
that
make
makes
the team.
sense.
This guy's a liability. That's why I think if so this was the first escape room that I've ever done where they allow phones. Not that we didn't use our
That's
phones.
great because
There's
I
nothing
couldn't
to
get a
use it
text
on.
back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could not get a text back when you guys. I texted the group chat. Everyone,
I could not
guys,
get
where
a
you
text.
at? Can I
That's
get an
because we were
Uber?
locked the fuck in.
Yeah,
Can I get an Uber?
We were trying, like, you're timed. You have an hour to do it, and we were just locked in. Great time management by us.
Yeah.
I felt like any time that I was like, we're taking too long on this, ask for a hint, and we would immediately figure it out. But this is the first escape room I've ever done where they've allowed you to have your cell phones, and I don't mean so that we can text this fucking guy while we're in there. I think it's more so that if Dallas and Joe did an escape room together, that someone could just go in there with them and like video it. Because
Yeah.
that would be good content. Just seeing them panic to figure shit out in 60 minutes. Just them two, like those two
Down-
brains,
both
put them
of-
together.
Both of them getting like really mad at the other one.
Yeah.
Just
Just
passive.
being
Yeah.
so fucking locked in that they're right about this, but neither of them are even close.
Yeah, you want to see me in an escape room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the escape room. You got to escape. Here's a question that you got to get right to escape. Oh, I got it wrong? Oh, cool. Like, I lost the escape room. Who gives a shit? I don't think I'd ever get
See?
heated in an escape room and be like,
Joe,
fuck, I lost.
Joe's the
escape
clubhouse
room.
cancer for escape room teams.
I think they let us in with a phone because they knew we were going to need to take a picture
Yeah.
in celebration
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yes.
They're like, let's make sure they have their phones so that like we can take a picture.
I mean, you
of
guys
them,
worried
the
about
champions.
fucking winning a escape room. I'm trying to win the World Series. Sorry, bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, that's true.
This was my World
Maybe in
Series.
2032 when the
this-
Braves are out of it and they're not in the playoffs, then I'll do an escape room. Until then, I'm looking for pennants.
I mean, that's a good point though, because I've always wondered what the adrenaline rush would be like from winning a World Series because I've never been that high level of an athlete. I think it would have to be a lot like what it felt like when we finished the escape room.
Yeah, and just to hold up the painting from the heist
Yeah.
at the end.
Check social.
Yeah, to tweet that picture out, knowing how many people were like, "Damn, like we thought that they weren't going to do it, but they clearly did it."
no, you did it.
Some
allegedly.
person said that picture is adorable, and
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Just how genuinely happy we were that we did it.
Yep.
You did it.
Yeah,
And I tip my cap.
I think part of the reason why we did it was because we all wanted it so badly. That's why it wouldn't have worked with you.
Exactly. That's why I had to say, hey, this is you guys. You guys are puzzle. You guys are good at puzzles. It's not my thing. Jay's crunching numbers. Jay's on Fangraphs, trying to figure out the savant exit velocity of certain shit. You know, like really breaking down the numbers. And I'm glad you did it.
We did it. Yeah. What would you say was your favorite part of the escape room, Jay?
Oh man. I think it was when we were all scrambling with the puzzle pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot going on in that escape room.
There's a lot happening. I mean, we had to figure out a lot of shit,
Yeah,
but
maybe when we detusked the elephant.
yeah. The
I don't want
magnifying
to
glass.
give too much away because, you know,
If you
I want everybody to experience
That's
the
what
thrill
everyone does. Everyone
themselves.
goes to
Yeah.
a Braves game. Before we go, let's do an escape room real quick. I'm sure that's the most popular spot in the
I mean,
whole
after this
battery.
podcast, I bet you a lot of people are going to do it. I mean, we should get a cut of their business. They didn't even know who the fuck they were dealing with. We walked in, they were like, "Hey, like we're like a professional escape team, and we're going to do a podcast about it that tens of thousands of people are going to listen to." And after that, everyone's going to come here being like, "Oh my god, that's the escape room that the escape team did."
There's going to be a baseball is dead themed escape room.
I just
there.
think it's
Yeah.
hilarious
In no
that there's certain people like during one. That was one of the best baseball games I've seen in my life.
Yeah,
like,
and
that
it's- you
was
know where
one
it
of the.
started?
No, it
and
was
that
awesome.
was
You know where it started?
That was a crazy baseball game, and there was people during that game in an escape room trying to solve puzzles instead of watching one of the baseball games ever. And you fucking three were one of them.
No,
Three
that's
of them.
not true.
Three of it, and the guys.
We
who-
missed the top
We
of the
have a
first.
baseball podcast, but we're doing an escape room.
No. We missed the top of the first. We missed the top of the first.
Oh
That was
yeah,
it.
I'm sorry we finished in like 48 minutes instead of 44.
Yeah.
my bad, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, dog.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of you guys.
Next time we, I mean, I would love to go to Minnesota or Philly at some point for one of the remaining series in the postseason.
Hell yeah.
Wherever we go,
Minnesota escape room.
yeah, look up Minnesota escape.
There's an
rooms.
escape room in Philadelphia. It's called Kensington Avenue, brother.
You don't get clues out of that one, I don't think though.
No one's coming to help you there.
Shout out Kensington.
Yeah. What series do we miss? Obviously, this one. Isn't there another one?
We didn't talk about the Astros.
Yeah, we did.
Briefly. We
Oh,
talked
well.
about
Astros Twins. Yeah. I said it yesterday. The Twins winning that game, that's the first time. I mean, it's obviously happened now because of the Braves game. That Twins game, that's the first time that a team has fought back all postseason. And I said, I was like, Carlos Correa is the greatest because Carlos Correa 3 for 4 with did he have 2 doubles or 1 double?
I thought it was one.
Okay. 2 singles and a double. Drove in 3 and made the play to end the game. It was a fantastic play to get Mr. Pena at first base. And I said, I think Carlos Correa is the biggest villain in baseball since Alex Rodriguez. And you know what? I got a lot of Twins fans saying, brother, he's a hero.
Yeah.
How's he the villain? And I was like, you do know that he was not drafted by the Minnesota Twins, and he had a whole ass career before he got to the Twins, right? Like, you know that some shit went down, and he was a part of it. And I wasn't even necessarily referring to the cheating scandal. I'm over that. I think a lot of people. I disagree. I think some people are still very upset about that. I'm over it. I think. Are we all over it? Are you over it, Jay?
Yeah, I don't think about it very much.
I don't either. Do you?
I'm over it.
Okay, we're all over it. We've moved on, but I think that the aspect of Carlos Correa being a Houston Astros legend and now playing for a new baseball team, coming back to Houston and delivering a couple daggers in that game, they booed him. Astros fans booed Carlos Correa, and then he stuck it to him by delivering 3 hits and 3 RBI. So that's why I was like, you know, he's a villain because you're booing him and he's shoving it up your ass. It's not that he's a bad guy. It's not that, you know, his wife's YouTube channel sucks. It's not what?
I haven't
You
seen
think it's good?
No, but I do want to watch it now.
It's a competitor.
I haven't seen a player who has a wife with a YouTube channel where that channel was, what would you say, good? Or maybe just, maybe not the target audience, but I've seen a couple of those and none of them really stuck out.
Who else has one?
I think Kershaw's wife has.
What's the content?
Just girl stuff, you know? Like,
What?
they just do girl stuff.
What do they do?
I remember she interviewed Zach Greinke's wife,
No.
and
What is she like?
she's amazing.
Is she anything like Zach?
No, Zach Greinke's wife is like, like a beast, just like him. She was like a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
Oh, I think I knew this. Okay, yeah. I think you're one of the biggest Zach Greinke fans out there.
Of course I did. I've done a lot of research on the guy.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. Would
you say that if Zach Greinke gets in the Hall of Fame, it's because of you?
No.
Okay.
But I would say Zach Greinke's maybe his limelight's a little brighter because of me. I mean, I'm not like my video about him has like 7 million views or anything. No big deal. But
You ever met him?
No, I don't know. I have not met Zach.
Have you ever met a Major League Baseball player?
Fuck.
Like while they were active? You got like
Maybe not, man.
You got like Foolish Bailey. You got like Lucas Giolito being like, yeah, I'm a fan of the channel. You've never had like a baseball player being like, man, I love your content.
No, I think they're a little intimidated by me, honestly. I know Strider follows me on Twitter. He's a big
Yeah, you've said that about 30 times this weekend, but I think
Strider does follow me on Twitter.
But have you ever talked to him?
No, why would I? We don't need to talk. We're boys.
Yeah, it's just like a quiet understanding.
So to answer my question, like no one has ever like reached out and been like, hey man, big fan of the channel.
No, fuck no. A baseball player doing that? Not a current player, no.
Didn't like some famous rapper say that they were a big fan?
Wale, dude. Yes. And yeah, Wale. Basically, Wale, thank you for reminding me. Wale just tweeted one day, yo, baseball doesn't exist, makes fire fucking videos. I'm like, what? Thanks, Wale. You know? Because real do recognize me. That's kind of my target audience, you know, kind of rap music. I'm kind of bigger than the baseball world.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Joe Rogan
let's just
shouted
talk
you
about
out
that.
yesterday.
You know, not to bury the lead.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan.
Speak on it.
Joe Rogan did tweet out a picture that
He tweeted or put it on Instagram? I thought it was on Instagram.
He made an Instagram post. You can go check it out, which is my post. Did he give me credit for it? No. Do I blame him? Nah, because it's not about that, dude. But I did post a picture of a guy in the stands during the World Baseball Classic who was wearing a wig, or that was his hair, who looked just like Joe Rogan. I said, Joe Rogan. I said something like, Joe Rogan, you ain't slick. This is Joe Rogan. And then 7 months later, Rogan, obviously a fan of the channel, said, let me just tweet this out.
A lot of people asking where we're going next.
I'm about to walk to Citizens Bank Park. And just with boxing gloves, take on the whole city.
Where do you want to go? If we were to go anywhere, if you could pick anywhere.
The bank, baby.
You want to go? You're ready? You want all the smoke?
I'm ready for the bank.
Like you went last year and you kind of flew under the radar. But now,
I have Jake filming me.
Exactly,
I went with my friends.
That's what I'm saying.
I went with my fucking friends.
You know, now there's videos like, here's the fucking wild Braves guy. All the people in the comments were like, bring that to the bank. Do that shit at the bank. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like you have the balls to do that.
I'm gonna have to tone it down a notch because
Why? You afraid?
I'm afraid of the
What
bank.
are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of the bank. I went to the bank and did the same thing I did yesterday.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, it's a little bit different when they know you.
Listen, the bank. I'm not gonna say the bank isn't a hostile environment. And I'm not gonna say these Neanderthals who like Philadelphia sports because that's their whole life wouldn't maybe try to take a swing because I like the Braves.
Yeah. As a Braves fan, you would acknowledge that the bank is louder than Truist.
The bank, yes, dude. The bank is on another level of atmosphere. It's
angry.
It's angry.
Like the Braves fans' energy is like, come on, Braves. We love the Braves. Let's go, Braves. The bank energy is, we're gonna fucking kill you no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, we were around Atlanta all week, and we saw people with Phillies jerseys just walking around.
Yeah.
You walk around with the fucking Braves jersey at like when I did that last year. It's just random people. You don't say shit. You go, fuck yeah, you fucking idiot. Yeah. And and if you're not a good sport about it, you can't escalate that.
Yeah,
I'm a good sport. I mean, I enjoy the shit talk. I get along with them, like you said. I'm a Philly guy. That's my second favorite fucking team.
Yeah,
I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan.
Yeah. We got to give the Twins some love, though, for punching back.
Absolutely.
The Minnesota Twins, I think, much like the Diamondbacks, as we're watching right now, they have 2 on in the 9th inning, and they're already up 4-2 on the Dodgers, 1-0 in the series. I think we underestimated the DBacks. I think we underestimated the Minnesota Twins. And there are definitely Twins fans listening right now being like, how the fuck are we back on the Braves right now when you guys started talking about the Twins? Give the Twins their love and respect, and that's what we're going to do right now.
I did pick both of them to win, so I want to say I slept on them.
You did pick both of them to win. But I feel like you were just trying to be different.
Well,
did you believe in the Snakes?
What did Steve Jobs say? Think different, baby. And I did. I thought differently. But we're talking about the Twins.
We're talking about the Twins.
I'll tell you, I don't know that there's been a more, well, I shouldn't say this because we just saw it with Michael Ayers. So let me pair the two thoughts. Two pretty badass sequences to end the game where you have the Michael Harris catch and double play, and then on a little bit more personal level, maybe a little bit less dramatic, you have Carlos Correa's throw, like backhand stab and throw to end the game. And they're like, it just felt like there was a little extra fuck you on that, and as there should be, right? Like, but that was a pretty nasty play in its own right. I don't know, man. Like, I think Pablo Lopez to me is the story from the first 2 games for the Twins. Like Bailey Ober was not anything. I mean, Verlander showed up and did his thing, and the Astros won Game 1. But like Pablo Lopez, to your point about punching back, that's what they went and got him for. He has exceeded, I think, pretty much all reasonable expectation for what his 2023 season was going to be when you couple the regular season and the postseason. And I think we're seeing why the Twins are a more legitimate threat, I think, than they've been in postseason series in the past. And that's easy to say now that they've gotten over that no-win hump. But they have a front line of pitching that I'm just not sure they've had post-Santana.
Yeah.
And
Lariano.
Yeah, and like...
Well, because Sonny Gray goes, what, Game 3?
Yeah, has he pitched yet?
And he's been just as nasty as Pablo Lopez has been, and that's who they're coming with next against.
Yeah, if you would have asked me going into the series, who's their best pitcher, who you most confident, I'd probably say Sonny Gray.
I mean, Pablo Lopez has 5 fucking pitches. He can throw them all for strikes. He can throw them in any count. Who was back there?
And just like...
Who was catching for Pablo?
Stand by. It's not.
Oh man, them snakes, boy. They're loading up them bases.
Yeah, it was Jeffers.
Yeah. I think Pablo Lopez, and I tweeted this. I was like, he's already a Twins legend. Just for his 2 postseason starts this year, after what that franchise has been through, after what the fans have had to suffer through, watching 18 consecutive postseason losses, and then you have Pablo Lopez just roll in there and be like, get on my back. Get on my back. And to roll into the first game wearing a Johan Santana jersey. Mm-hmm. He was like, you know what? I'm aware of the history. I know that this is my first year in Minnesota, but I am aware of the history. And not only am I not going to ignore it, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to acknowledge it, and then I'm going to snuff it out. And that's what he's done so far.
And it is also super cool to see, like, this has been a tough year for Correa, obviously, during the regular season, particularly with the expectations that came with the contract that he signed. But it's very cool to see a guy with his postseason track record and resume, like, just have the postseason start and be like, oh, yeah, I'm Carlos Correa again. You know, it's not just a throw like he's, what is he? He's 8 for 15 so far between the two series. That's both Toronto and Houston. But, I mean, even if you just want to do the Houston series, he's fucking 5 for 8 with 3 doubles.
And he's done that before. What? At least 1 year. Was that 2020 or 21? He did that before, where he was not good all year, playoffs.
Oh, there was 1 year that he was hurt. And then he came back late and then just went off in the playoffs. Was it 19?
It was 20.
Well,
20.
that's why he's a villain, because he thrives off being the pressure, I guess.
He don't give a fuck.
Everyone boos him in Houston. That's just going to make him, he ain't going to shake.
And it was funny, too, that you bring up 2020 and how he went from a terrible regular season, because you know who they played and beat in the wild card that year? The Twins.
Who could forget?
Who could
Can't
forget?
I just remember the Tampa ALCS where
Altuve.
what was that? That was when they almost came back from being down 0-3. I would have been so mad.
Yep.
I would have been so mad. It would have just
right?
It would have taken all the thunder out of 04.
I know.
Just like, oh man, the only team to ever come back from down
Because it was
0-3.
like, that was a different story where it was like you almost expected the Astros to come back from 0-3. No one was
Yeah.
going to be surprised.
They did. They became the second team since the 04 Red Sox were the only team to force a Game 7. Never mind win it. And the Astros forced a Game 7, but they did ultimately lose, which I still don't know how. I don't know how they lost that game.
But I mean, if you're talking about the Twins, I think the most surprising part is the lineup has been thumping and bumping. And I talk smack about the lineup, but they've been thumping and bumping.
Royce Lewis has been thumping and bumping.
Royce Lewis, no one even expected, no one even thought he was going to play. Not no one, but I didn't.
Who's impressed you the most, Jay? From the Minnesota Twins lineup? You can't say Royce Lewis.
Can't say Royce Lewis. I mean, it's such a cop-out answer, but it really is Correa to me, because I didn't know, like, I know what his track record is. I also know that he spent most of this season a combination of not healthy and not productive. And so to me, that the fact that he is performing at such a high level and that they kind of need him to do that, like he's, the crux of that offense in a lot of ways, I think that's been the most impressive for me, particularly because we're focusing more on the series that are happening right now as opposed to what happened in the Toronto series. Obviously, that answer would be Royce Lewis in that case. But no, man, the fact that Correa's turned it back on, I think, is incredibly impressive.
Shout out to Justin Verlander, shoved in Game 1
without his best stuff too.
Yeah. I thought that he was going out there with that postseason acumen. That I've been here before. I'm going to do it because I've been here before. Framber was not solid. Framber was very disappointing in Game 2. Did Dallas say Javier's going in Game 3?
Yeah.
So it's Javier Sonny?
Believe so.
I kind of like that matchup.
Yes, it is.
I like that matchup.
Especially for Game 3.
Yeah. I mean, Minnesota's going to be loud. That's one of those ballparks that you underestimate the environment. But I still like the Twins to go up 2-1. I still like the Twins to go up 2-1. In the case, well, first of all, who do you like in Game 3, Joseph?
I like the Twins too, and I'm burning the paper. You know me, all the numbers, don't care. I think it's kind of like the Braves in 21, when you get a team to break that streak of being known for choking in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Once you break it, everyone's on board. Boom, boom, let's go.
So, like, there are going to be series over the course of the postseason where we make picks for every single series, and then you kind of like you bet with your dick, not your brain.
Yeah.
And it's like you'll get like a game or two into the series and be like, man, why did I pick Team X? And in this series in particular, I've felt both ways.
Yeah.
Like after the first game, I'm like, why did I pick the Twins? Like the Astros go to the ALCS every fucking year. Like, why did you think that it would be any different? Like, you're a fucking idiot. And then after game 2, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Twins might be the better team right now. Like based on like maybe not overall, maybe not talent, maybe not roster development, but like right now, as things stand currently, going head to head, who should win this series? I'm happy that I picked the Twins.
They do seem to have the momentum. Obviously, they won last game. But even the first game, like that, they battled there. And you say they fought back in the second game first.
Yeah.
But the first game, they did too.
Yeah.
Like they fell back, but they made that game close.
But the Kyle Farmer game?
I'm talking about the game. Yeah, I don't remember what fucking Kyle Farmer did, honestly, dude. I was probably 7 blue moons deep during that game. But I remember they hit back-to-back home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Polanco. Royce Lewis, and he said, "Oh shit,
I don't remember what
Twins are getting hot." Yeah, Kyle Farmer. Yeah, you could have told me he's on the Blue Jays. I don't know.
Jay, hey, what do you think about Game 3 and how you forecast this series moving forward?
I mean, I think I prefer Sonny Gray to Christian Javier in the starting pitching matchup, but I think it's
a young pick, brother.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be.
You pick Sonny Gray?
No, he's saying Javier. But I do think it's going to be. It's the sort of competitive series that I was hoping that would be produced out of this matchup, because, as you said, it was easy to just kind of be like, well, the Astros are the ones who have done it before. Why the fuck would I pick the Twins? But I think the real lineup, I think a real comparison of these two teams overall suggests that it's actually very close. And while we spent a lot more time talking about the Astros, and not just us, but just generally people, because of how tight the AL West was and how that drew people into the conversation, and how boring and how like every other team in the AL Central punted on the season, essentially, that doesn't really mean that the Twins aren't as good as the Astros, and I think that might really be the case.
Yeah. Yordan Alvarez deserves a shout out, even though the Minnesota Twins were victorious in Game 2. Yordan went deep again. I mean, this motherfucker. You bring in a lefty to face Yordan. He's like, thank you very much. Like, shout out to Robbie Ray. Bring in that lefty. He's licking his chops every single time. Like, you can't. It doesn't matter who you bring in to face Yordan Alvarez. When the calendar turns to October, he's gonna eat that ass alive.
Yeah, he's the scariest motherfucker ever in the box.
There's
no one else in the box when you see Yordan Alvarez when it matters.
And because he's so dangerous being able to go the other way in a ballpark like Houston, like those 2 games at home, obviously he can pull homers with the best of them, and with the Crawford boxes, he can do damage the other way, and a lot of times it's going to get out. If it's not going to get off the wall, he can put one out the other way.
Career 1.169 OPS during the DS.
Is that good?
I gotta piss my dick off right now.
Why don't you go piss your dick off, and I'll do the Blue Moon ad read.
Do the ad read, and then we'll talk about how bad the Dodgers are.
Yeah, because it's the bottom of the 9th. It's 4-2. How many outs? 1 out.
Yeah. By the time he's pissed, we'll be good.
Yeah. All right. It's all of our. Oh God, this dude cannot stand up. What is this? This is a completely different. All right. It just looks different on my phone. Even under the bright lights of the playoffs, Blue Moon Belgian White is the beer that's made brighter. Blue Moon was born in a ballpark for baseball fans, first brewed at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. From its bold, refreshing flavor to its beautiful bright color, Blue Moon is as iconic as America's pastime. We were drinking Blue Moons at Game 1, Braves Phillies, some of us more than others. But I can rest assured we were drinking Blue Moons at that game. With its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander, Blue Moon Belgian style wheat ale is a one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Blue Moon was brewed by baseball, so it's the perfect match for the playoffs. The crack of a beer, the pour, the first sip of that bold flavor, Blue Moon always feels like a special occasion. Best served with its signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful bright color. A beer this good only comes around once in a blue moon, but you can enjoy it all through the playoffs. Brighten up the baseball playoffs with Blue Moon Belgian-style wheat ale. It's a one-of-a-kind every time. Check out shop.bluemoonbrewingcompany.com for fresh baseball merch, and visit get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket to find Blue Moon delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale. As we were telling you all about Blue Moon and its greatness, the Arizona Diamondbacks just defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers, and it is a 2-0 series lead for the Snakes. We couldn't have timed that more perfect. We started the podcast.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Knocked out the other 3 series, and we were like, all right, hopefully by the time we get through 3 series, we'll be ready to talk about the Snakes and Doyers, and it just went final. Just as we finished the read.
It's good producing, Jake.
Yeah. Thank you, Jake. You're doing a great job. You know who else is doing a great job? The fucking Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks taking care of business. Outside of young Joseph here, I think we owe the Snakes an apology. We didn't even consider the Diamondbacks in this series. And looking closer at it, I think we should have given them more of a chance. Just for the starting pitching alone. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I knew that Clayton Kershaw was going to completely shit his pants, because I've been long defending playoff Clayton Kershaw. I know that Dave and I used to have those battles back in the day. Like, Dave would say that Kershaw was just a straight up bum in the postseason. I was like, no, it's a very mixed bag. And then in 2020, he had his redemption. The Dodgers won the World Series, and Kershaw was a big, big part of that. He absolutely shit his pants in game 1 of this series. But then you just kind of like look at like the Zach Gallen in game 2. It's like, yeah, you should feel pretty good about that. If you can get to Clayton Kershaw in game 1, which they did, then you have Zach Gallen in game 2. Love our chances. And here we are, the Snakes with a 2-0 series lead. Is the story just the fact that they're up 2-0? Like, is there like it's not like we've never seen Clayton Kershaw get his shit pushed in before.
That bad though?
No, not that bad.
One
but
out.
Like,
One out.
it was bad.
To me, the story here is 2 different things. It's that we probably, I'll speak for myself, that I overrated or overestimated how much of the Dodgers' like regular season success was built upon the idea that they were built for the regular season. Like, a lot of organizational depth. We talked about that, right? And in combination with that, how vulnerable their starting pitching was. I know Joey brought this up, but how vulnerable their starting pitching was relative to Dodgers teams of the past. And I think I made the mistake of looking at, hey, this was a 100-win Dodgers team that is here all the time, and this is a kind of mediocre Diamondbacks team as far as playoff teams go. But when you get into a series like this, Jared mentioned the starting pitching, and I think that's really where this centers on, because, yes, it's easy to say that like Clayton Kershaw completely took them out of that game, but they didn't get any more length, really. Or I mean, I guess they got a little more length, but like not much more out of Miller tonight. You know what I mean? Like, what did he give them? An inning and 2/3? Like, it was just not, an inning, 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs. 2 walks and a strikeout. Like, that vulnerability has played out to the worst possible percentile for the Dodgers, and I do think we should have spent more time thinking about, hey, like, how do the Diamondbacks starting pitchers actually line up with who the Dodgers are going to be pitching in this series, and like, are we really sure that the Dodgers are 16 games better or whatever it was than the Diamondbacks? And I think the answer is definitively no, even accounting for crazy things happening in small samples in short series.
Yeah, I think even the Dodgers lineup is built that way too. They're very top heavy. Like, you have 2 of the best players in the NL. Freddie, you got Mookie. And JD's been a beast all year. But then when you're facing James Outman, are you really that scared? or when Miguel Rojas is in there, Kike, who Jared said has been terrible this year.
I mean, to your
Jason Hayward comes up. Like these guys, if you platoon them all year, you can kind of the depth. You can kind of get their wins. How the Dodgers have done it forever, but yeah, they're not as scary when it comes down to it.
Jason Hayward, Chris Taylor, David Peralta, Kike Hernandez, Josh Outman, Miguel Rojas, and Colton Wong all got plate appearances for the Dodgers in this game after the front five guys, Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, and JD Martinez. Like, that is a lot of people that, to put it kindly, you can pitch to in the playoffs, right? Listen, Jared asked what the story is. I think the story is that the regular season overstated the gap between these two teams. And that's a mistake. Again, I made that mistake as well. But, like, that's, I think, the story here. Let's ask a different question. If you were lining up the starting pitchers who are available from these two teams, not like moving forward, just in general, are the first two people that you're taking on the Diamondbacks? Like, are you taking Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly before you're taking anybody on the Dodgers?
I mean, I feel like it's easy to say that now after we saw Kershaw get shit on and pitch one out. But, yeah, I mean.
Wait, rephrase that question?
So if all the starting pitchers on both teams were available
Yeah.
and you were just, like, drafting a fake team or whatever for postseason success, like, Zach Gallen's probably the first guy you're taking, right?
Yeah.
Are you taking Merrill Kelly next?
And
I know that's easy now that Kershaw pooed himself, but I think that yes, I think so. That just speaks to the point. The fact that it's even a question, I think, speaks to the point that
we should have given the D-backs more. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people overlooked those two. I think people forgot those two are their pitchers.
And shout out to Corbin Carroll too, because I think one of the things that I mentioned was that if the Diamondbacks were going to do things, it would be super cool if Corbin Carroll got that national platform to be kind of the young player that gets that postseason bump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In terms of
he's still not getting it though.
No, I don't think it's resonating on a national scale yet, because I don't think that. Listen, the Diamondbacks Dodgers is relegated to the late window, right? There are some people who are not going to.
Like, we already got our nut after the Braves game. Yeah. So, like, the Dodgers D-backs game is basically the cigarette after. So, I think, and again, we're trying our best to give the D-backs the respect that they deserve. But this series on a national scale has been more about the Dodgers losing than the D-backs winning. Everyone's like, man, fucking the Dodgers are choking again. Like, oh, they've now lost, 6 out of their last 7 playoff games. And after last year, they got the season that they had to get rocked in the jaw by the Padres. And now this, like, no one besides Joe gave the D-backs a chance in this series.
That's fine. And I'm willing to give the Corbin Carroll thing a little bit of time to breathe. But the guy is doing everything he possibly can to put himself in that conversation. Like, he was 1 for 2 with 3 walks tonight, and in the postseason is now 7 for 14 with 5 walks. Like, he's getting on base at a fucking 600 clip through his first 4. I get it. It's 4 postseason games. Like, pump the brakes or whatever. But, like, that's incredibly impressive.
Fair or unfair, the D-backs have to face some sort of adversity to kind of get a little bit of recognition. Like, I think if they advance and they're in a best-of-7 series against the Phillies or the Braves, and they're down 2-1, and it's Corbin Carroll that puts the D-backs on his back to battle back against a team like that, the Phillies or the Braves, and he's the reason why, like, he's lobbying for NLCS MVP, that will probably do it more so than, like, the Dodgers choking again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen teams go to the CS we don't really think of as, like, sick teams. Padres last year.
Yeah.
The Brewers, when I forgot who they played a few years back, 18.
The Dodgers.
But yeah, remember when the Brewers were a couple games from the World Series? Like, no one really talks
that went to 7 games.
Yeah, like, I don't remember that. But like, oh, the Brewers were that close. No one says that. Could be the Diamondbacks.
I don't know. The Brewers in 2018 were probably I don't know if it was the biggest threat on this current run, but that was the Yelich MVP year. So I don't know. I feel like they were like the Brewers in 2018 are not the perfect comparison for the D-backs this year. Like the D-backs are coming out of fucking nowhere. Like Corbin Carroll is an MVP candidate in the National League. Yelich was like on another planet that year and in 19 until he got hurt in like September. But I don't know. I think when the D-backs get to the National League Championship Series, that's going to surprise a lot of folks because, I mean, we were having conversations 2-3 weeks before the season ended about, who are the 3 wildcard teams going to be. I don't even think we talked about the Diamondbacks. We didn't even like think that they were going to get in. And now they're going to be in the fucking NLCS.
I think it's okay to be surprised or caught off guard that the Diamondbacks would be in the LCS.
Yeah.
Like, they won 84 games during the regular season. They went 84-78. And, like, I think it's okay. It's not a slap in the fucking face to these teams to not think that they are likely to advance multiple rounds.
2 years ago, they wouldn't have been in the playoffs at all, right?
Right. Like, we have to acknowledge the idea that there is a format, there is an encouraged randomness to these results. It's a 5-game series, and that doesn't take anything away from what the Diamondbacks are doing. It just doesn't. But, like, I also am not here for this, like, oh, you should have believed in the Diamondbacks the whole time. It's like they had 162 games, and they won 52% of those games.
Right.
Like, I just, like, it's great, and I'm not rooting against them. I think I've elaborated specifically on the Corbin Carroll thing for why I think they're a compelling team moving forward for baseball. But, like, to see this sort of kind of domination of the Dodgers coming, to me, I think I think you have to acknowledge it's unexpected.
It's definitely unexpected, but I feel like it's not that we should have expected it, but I think we should have allowed for the possible outcome.
No doubt. 207. The Dodgers' run differential was 207 in the positive direction. The D-backs was -15 during the regular season. Like, it's just...
Can't predict ball.
No,
well,
you
they
can't.
didn't have Tommy Pham until the trade deadline, so you got to compute to
the
that.
Pham
And
factor,
have we seen
it's
that guy in the
Oh,
playoffs
he had 2 more hits tonight.
Because he's on fire, and that's a guy who's ready to go.
I'm also interested to see if the Dodgers do end up flaming out in the DS.
Again.
I'm interested to see, for the second consecutive season. I am interested to see what that brings in the offseason.
Oh, yeah, Shohei Ohtani. Doesn't matter. People are going to forget about it because they're getting Shohei, and then it's...
I do think we're getting to a point, though, where there is... I don't. It's not like I have an enormous number of Dodgers friends, fans, or in real life or on Twitter, but I do get the sense that we're reaching a point of, like, lack of postseason success fatigue a little bit, where, like, they got the one World Series, but we've talked about, like, what is the balance between how long can you be successful like this and only have one World Series, and what does that feel like?
But it's just going.
That's the Braves of the 90s.
Yeah, but losing in the DS 2 years in a row is like it's different than making it to the World Series or even getting to the CS. But when you go down in the DS back-to-back years, when you were the team winning 100 games,
Joey, it's not just that. They won 106 games in 2019, lost in the DS. They won 106 games in 20. I'm skipping over 2020 because obviously they didn't play enough games to win 100 games. But in 2021 they won 106, lost in the LCS. 111 last year, lost in the DS. 100 lost in the DS. Like, these aren't teams that are limping into the playoffs. These are regular season juggernauts, and you are asking fans to invest in 162 games where they are seeing this absolute fucking freak juggernaut organization rampage through the regular season time and time again, like literally for a full decade, winning it like I'm ballparking it. It's like near a 100 win pace over the course of an entire decade.
For real.
And to only have one World Series, I just, and DS in the last 2 years, like, I'm not calling for anybody's job. I just think there has to be a level of disappointment and fatigue, and particularly with the as of right now, fairly uncompetitive way that this team has played through the first 2 games of this series, because game 1 was dog shit and was over before it started. And game 2, like, they had their chances, but we're still talking about a game where they scored 2 runs. And where Miller kind of pitched them out of the game in some senses, or at least took the air out of the situation, took the air out of the home crowd before it even started for the second straight game.
Yeah, I mean, we got this game on mute, but I'm sure that was a grim scene. These are the videos after game 1, the Kershaw jerseys getting run over, and this is not the first time that's happened. But they were angry.
Also, I don't think that it's not a legitimate excuse to be like, oh yeah, injuries. Like Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Walker Buehler. Like, these are all players that would help you around this time of year. But at the end of the day, having a run differential north of plus 200, and how many games did they win?
They won 100 games.
They won 100 games this year.
162.
They didn't have Walker Buehler at all. They lost Gonsolin probably, in late July, early August. They never had Dustin May. Like, you won 100 games without those dudes. So, yes, they would help right now, but you won 100 games without them. Like, the roster was good enough to win 100 fucking games.
And that's wildly impressive. I also think in some ways it set an expectation for what this team should do this season maybe too high. Like, I just don't know at the end of the day whether the current Dodger roster is a 100-win roster.
And it's because, for me, it's because of the rotation.
No question. It is a shadow of what it has been during, and we knew that all season. Like, that has shown up in the stats all year long. We've talked about it on the podcast. I don't think I put enough stock into that reality when we were talking about the predictions, but we've known that the Dodgers rotation was just not up to par with where it has been in the past. I thought it was good enough still to probably work in the postseason, but I think that's proven to be not the case.
Well, they are like a Moneyball-esque team, which is weird because it's the Dodgers with a crazy payroll. But the way they platoon everyone and the way their starters don't... I mean, Kershaw's pitched like... He's not only pitching like 80 pitches a game in the regular season, and then other than that, they don't really have a lot of... they don't have starters. Like Lance Lynn is their second best starter. The other guys are rookies. Like, they've kind of moneyballed their way into 100 wins, and it seems like it doesn't really work as well in the playoffs.
No, ask the Rays.
Ask the Rays.
Oh, we also, you didn't mention him, but Urias too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Fuck him.
Is he hurt?
Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely fuck him, but like,
that's a loss.
Yeah, that goes right up there with Walker Buehler.
Yes, I would agree.
And the difference between him and Buehler is that that's a guy that you were like planning on during the course of the regular season,
post trade deadline,
for sure, being part of your postseason rotation. Where Walker Buehler has been basically toast for the whole year, and you really weren't expecting to get him back this year.
I mean, there was hope to get him back in like September,
for sure. But what version are you getting?
Right, we're not putting in Sharpie Walker Buehler into a postseason rotation. But
I mean, Urias was like. Not to like do a whole Urias thing because again, fuck him, but like he was actually supposed to be the ace of this team.
Correct.
It was not supposed to be Clayton Kershaw.
No.
This was supposed to be Clayton Kershaw like descending down the rotation, which is totally fair, by the way. I think it's actually totally unreasonable to expect Clayton Kershaw to be the ace of a World Series winning team at his age, at this point where you guys brought up the very fair idea that like he doesn't provide a lot of bulk at this point. He threw 131 2/3 innings this year across 24 starts. And they were obviously high quality starts, but that's not the same Clayton Kershaw that was struggling in the postseason during the prime of his career.
No.
And that was supposed to be Urias' role. That's how this roster was constructed. That's how the ascension was built in, and it just didn't. Obviously, it didn't fucking happen.
Right,
it didn't happen because of what he did, and it also didn't happen because of how he was pitching before he got suspended, right? Or was told to go away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand when people give up on teams after one game, like seeing the people, experts, not just fans, experts. The Twins were toast after game one. The Braves were toast after game one. Both of those teams have come back. Little bit of a different story in this series where are the Dodgers the only team down 0-2 that's now going on the road? Yeah, right?
No, the Orioles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, yeah, the Orioles are fucked. Is there any chance that the Dodgers can come back and win this series against the D-backs?
There's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance. You know, Lance Lynn's a guy where it's like hit or miss with this guy.
Team
you
USA,
know?
baby.
Team USA. He's been not good this year as a whole, but when he came to LA,
Is fucking Brandon Pfaadt going in game 3? He must be, right? Is he?
I don't know.
but you definitely got Merrill Kelly and Gallen.
We're
pitching.
full TBD right now. Nobody's
Okay.
announced anything.
But how's Lance Lynn not announced?
I don't know.
Pretty obvious.
Bob Costas said it's Lance Lynn though, so we can move with that.
Casty.
Casty.
By the way, our friend Sarah Langs has dug into. We were very timely by her. Tweeted 2 minutes ago. The D-backs won 16 fewer regular season games than the Dodgers. The only regular season wins upset that large in postseason series history. The 1906 White Sox over the Cubs. The 1973 Mets over the Reds. The 2001 Yankees over that juggernaut Mariners team. And then the 21 Braves over the Dodgers and the 22 Padres over the Dodgers. So 3 of the 6 largest differentials in terms of regular season, postseason upsets will be the Dodgers will be on the wrong end of that. And I also think not only is that interesting for the Dodgers end, but it's also interesting that 3 of the 6 largest in that sense will have occurred within the last 3 postseasons. And I don't think that's an accident. I think that's what this format encourages. And I think the quicker that we wrap our minds around
Sad Magic.
Sad Magic
Sad
Johnson.
Magic.
He had to see his Commanders go down and his Dodgers go down in the same week. It's
Tough.
I think the quicker we wrap our heads around the idea that we knew the best team doesn't win in baseball often. I think we may need to wrap our heads around the fact that that's going to happen less and less frequently.
Yeah.
But like as we just said, like looking back on it, it seems like the Dodgers should have been underdogs. All the guys they lost, all those pitchers.
I don't know if I don't know underdogs, but I do think this should have been looked at more as a 50-50 split, and I was a little too dismissive of the D-backs, as we've said. But
We're all guilty of it, except for Joe.
Except for Joe. Congratulations.
Before we close this thing out,
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys, yay or nay to the idea of going back to the wild card being a 1-game play-in and making the division series best of 7? Because you're still getting like anyone that's like that. The argument is, oh well, we want a best of 3 for the wild card because it's more baseball. The owners want more baseball. All right, fine, have your more baseball. Make the wild card game because I mean they're all fucking sweeps. They're all fucking boring.
So far, there's not been a lot of
Just
them,
make
bro.
it 1 game. It's a game 7. It's like the opening act to start the postseason. You get some game 7s, and then the division series becomes best of 7. So you don't lose out on your fucking blood money, Jay. Hey,
If you're pairing those two things at 1 game wild card and we get a 7-game DS, yes.
okay, I like that.
I like the new one too, and not only just because of the playoffs. And I think there's gonna be some crazy moments in the wild card series. You just be patient, sir.
No,
Also, I also like the end of this regular season this year was.
Yep.
We forget how crazy that was with the Rangers, with the AL West, with the wild card,
But-
and the NL wild card.
but they're
I
not.
get a lot of good baseball.
They're not on like national TV. So it's like if you're not like I would rather have it be like, all right, like sit down, you're gonna watch a game 7. Like no one's tuning in for game 162 of fucking like Rangers.
I did.
I know you did. So you're not in favor of it.
I like how it is now.
All right, I don't. So I think the best way to do it is go back to the wild card being a 1-game playoff and then make the division series best of 7. I would like that. Because even like this right now, it's like, should the Dodgers be fucked 2 games into a series? Like, should they be fucked?
They would have been fucked in the old format too. They would. This was the divisional series, 5-game series.
This is a best of 5.
That's what I'm saying. They're in the old format. They would have been down 2-0.
Yeah.
And been fucked.
But that's what I'm saying. Make
Give
it
a
best of
7 game.
7. Yeah.
Yeah. If they
Like
go,
the D-backs can still win the series in a best of 7. Sure. Like they can win it in 6, but at least there's a little bit more drama.
I'm not opposed to that. If there was going to be if you got rid of the wild card and made the division 7 games.
No. Not get rid of it. Make it just a 1-game playoff.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's tantalizing.
Yeah.
But I like having more teams involved in the I think this pennant race was probably one of the most
Nothing changes.
the funnest one that I've seen.
Yeah, nothing
that I
changes.
can remember recently.
You just get your 1-game playoff to start it. That's it. Same thing.
No, but there's only 2 wild card teams then instead of 3. It's like a lot
No,
less.
it's the same thing.
You can't have 3 wild card teams and have a 1-game playoff. You have to have 2, and they play each other, and they play 1 game. That's how it used to be. Am I right or am I right?
No, you're not right. Every series would just become a 1-game playoff. So everything.
Oh, all of them. Now you're talking my language. Yeah, I mean, that's a thought. That is a thought. That is kind of sick.
Yeah.
You know what, Jared? I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't following you.
I'm-
I actually like that a lot. I was not following you.
gathered that.
3 1-game playoffs.
Yeah. How's that?
That's sick.
Yeah, suck
Because
on
that's
that.
how it used to be. But just 2 teams.
There you go. I'm just
Well,
gonna
then you got a division winner playing a 1-game playoff.
Yeah, win have a better record.
Oh my God.
Breaking news.
What is it?
Brandon fought against Lance Lynn in game 3.
Wow, you heard it here first. We broke it. Who tweeted that?
Bill Shaken.
Oh, fuck Bill Shaken. We had it first.
The Astrophots.
Fuck you, Bill. We had it first.
Thanks for nothing, Bill.
Thanks for nothing, Bill. Kiss our ass.
The Astrophots are losing their minds right now.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break and talk about Zyn nicotine pouches. We're always talking about what a team needs to get to number 1, but Zyn nicotine pouches are already there. Zyn has helped millions of people achieve lasting change, earning the title of America's number 1 nicotine pouch. If you're a smoker or you're a dipper looking to make a change, look no further than Zyn. Zyn is made with 6 simple ingredients and is available in a wide range of varieties, including spearmint, citrus, and even coffee. And it's available in 2 strengths so you can control your nicotine satisfaction. Because it's discreet, you can enjoy it anywhere, anytime, so you never have to miss a moment of the game. Plus, every can of Zyn earns you points towards premium items like tailgating gear, top-of-the-line tech, Zyn swag, even gift cards. Find your Zyn at your local convenience store or online at Zyn.com. That's Zyn, ZYN.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Last thing before we get out of here, Jay Hay, your thoughts on the meet and greet down here in Atlanta?
Overwhelming is my take. I was absolutely humbled and sobered by the amount of support that we got out here as a podcast, individual conversations that I had, to know that people saw that we were coming and weren't just in the area and decided to stroll over and see what was going on, but made very specific plans. And by the way, if you strolled over, that's great too. It was great to see you as well. But like that there were people who made very specific plans to travel non-trivial distances to come and meet us, to talk ball with us for a little while was very eye-opening, and it makes me very excited about the future of the podcast and where all this is headed. And yeah, I really want to genuinely thank all of the people for coming out, because I hope it was an enjoyable experience for you, and it definitely was for me.
Joseph, what did you think about the watch party?
Yeah, I mean, no one's wearing my T-shirt. No one brought a Baines meter. I don't know if I have an equivalent to that, so maybe I'm not going to be like that excited. But
We did have 2 listeners of the podcast.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Custom-made Baines meter T-shirts came up to meet Jay Hay. Jay Hay was a star. Jay was a star of the weekend.
Well, my homie had tickets to the game. Then he started drinking Blue Moons with me. He's like, nah, bro, I'm watching with you, dog.
That's true.
I'm in your foxhole.
Yeah, I'm in your foxhole. Yeah, he's like a 20-year Marine.
Yep.
Yeah, did like 5 tours. Was he goes back to the starting 9 days. Was doing tours in Iraq, Afghanistan, listening to starting 9, and then he see, you know what? I'm leaving the military. I'm gonna go to this watch party.
And we were there together, man. I saw we were in the thick of it, baby.
He said he spent $200 on tickets to the game and was like, "Fuck it, I'm staying and watching the game with these guys." And he did. He was right next to me during the Austin Riley home run.
All my boys, there a lot of cool Braves fans were to hang out watching that game. That was a sick game to watch. We watched at the bar was better than the first game.
Yeah,
probably because they won. That had a lot to do with it, but. Yeah, that was lit.
Someone almost knocked me over. Jake saved my life. Someone almost fucking shoulder tackled me after the Austin Riley home run, and I tripped on one of like the poles that had the velvet rope or whatever. I almost went down, and Jake fucking caught me.
Brother, I caught someone too. I wasn't you. I knocked someone's. It was every man for themselves. That home run. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a wild scene. But I tweeted out, I was like, I think that's the craziest reception that I've ever seen outside of Boston. Like I've been to a lot of ballparks, and when I do go to other ballparks, like, yeah, you'll get your fans like here and there that listen to the podcast and they appreciate the show. But as far as like the volume and to what Jay was saying, like people were coming from all over. Like one dude drove like 5 hours from Alabama, and he was like, "Yeah, man," he's like, "I wasn't gonna miss this shit, brother." I was like, "Oh, damn." So, yeah, shout out to Atlanta, Braves country. Thanks for having us live at the Battery in Atlanta. It's right outside the ballpark. Thank you for hosting us. We had a great time. I don't know what's next for us on the Baseball is Dead playoff tour. Who knows? I mean, we might. Who knows if we're going to go anywhere else? I don't fucking know. We're going to have to figure that out. We're going to have to ask some questions. I hope this wasn't the last stop. I hope it wasn't a one and done for us. But we'll get our heads together. We'll figure it all out. But last but not least, you watching, listening. If you didn't make it to the watch party, but you're still listening to the podcast, watching us on YouTube, we do appreciate you guys so very much for listening. And when are we back, Jake?
We'll be back at the conclusions of the Game 4s on Thursday night.
What's today?
Monday.
All right. Yeah, we all got flights in the morning. We're all going home. All right, we'll be back on Thursday. We'll see you guys then.
There you go.